And welcome back, everybody, to the Podcaster Nation. I say welcome back because I know you were just listening to our other stuff and you came back for more, and we have more for you. This is the show that is about podcasters, it's for podcasters, and it's done by podcasters. And our guest today, well, she's a podcaster. She got a podcast coming out. She got a YouTube channel now, and she's also a psychic. It's going to be pretty cool. Before I introduce this person, I do want to say thank you to everybody. This is the place where the rising tide raises all ships. You folks have done a great job of lifting each other up, of helping each other out, liking and sharing and subscribing and everything to each other's podcasts. And now I'm seeing everybody guesting on each other's podcasts, which is awesome. So great job on community. Great job helping each other. We got to keep this thing rolling. Folks, if you are not a podcaster and you're listening to this, I certainly hope you are taking the opportunity to get to know all of these different personalities, all of these people. I hope you will check out their shows. We've got a lot of talent on this podcast and a lot of people who are here to, well, show you what they can do. So thanks to everybody. Let's get rolling. Today's guest, the Outlaw Psychic, Melissa Renee McCarty. Melissa, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Great. Thanks for being here today. I'm sorry I messed the
Thank
time
you.
up.
That's okay.
I know we're on the air, but I like telling people about this stuff because I hate the time change. I hate it. I just despise it.
Oh, you're not the only one.
It messes me up so bad. I'm in Indiana and it messes me up. Now you said you're out in like Oregon or something, right?
I'm in Oregon.
Does that mess you up for the rest of the world?
Not really, because I'm able to easily, figure out based on my time what everyone else's is.
I'm the only guy I know then that can't figure out this time change thing. But I can't figure out who's moving forward, who's falling back, and everything else. So, all
Yeah.
right, Melissa, you call yourself the Outlaw Psychic. Now, I know that as soon as
Mhm.
anybody sees the title, they're going to want to know what's going on with that because you're not just a psychic, you're an outlaw psychic. Tell us who you are, what you do, and why you're called that.
I'm called the Outlaw Psychic because I descend from the outlaws and lawmen of the Old West, and everything I do is named for them. They are my heart, my soul, my rock. They have been there for me through everything, thick, thin, hard, good, in between, they've been there for me. So everything I do is for them.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That's interesting. All right. I thought maybe it was just like the way you did psychic readings or something. And, you
Oh,
know,
well,
there,
that's not the only thing.
All right. Well, as long as we brought that up, tell me now, psychic has a whole lot of, openings and options and usages. So tell me what it is that you do within these various fields.
Well, I'm able to sometimes, once in a while, see into either the future or near future. Um, I can read and feel energy. I do energy healing, clearings. I do paranormal work. I do, oh my God, what else do I do? I do lots of different things. I can read photos, objects, buildings, land, people. It just depends on the circumstance and the situation. But I love, 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 love my work.
Good deal. What is there any one thing, one aspect of, the whole psychic energy thing that you would consider to be your specialty or that you're the best at?
I am best at being a medium
Hmm.
because I can see into the other side. Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. So my wife has gone to several readings and she's gone
Mhm.
done that type of thing. I never have. And I know a lot of our folks that might be hearing this, maybe it's the first time that they've heard that, but can you kind of describe what that really is for people who don't know what that would mean? To like have a reading to
Well,
contact the other side.
okay. I see, hear, feel, sense, and know spirit very, very, very intimately.
Okay. So, if you were doing a reading for me, for instance, then would you be trying to contact people that I knew? Is that how that works?
They can come to me. It depends on the situation.
Okay. So you don't reach out to them necessarily. It's kind of whoever shows up.
Hmm.
And if somebody wants to come through to me, then that's up to them, not to
Hmm.
you.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I didn't realize that difference in the
Hmm.
how it worked. Okay. All right. That's what you, so do you do this in groups or do you do this like, online or, what's the most
Um,
common
I
way you do it?
can, I can do it in groups, but typically I do it online just because, everyone's so scared of each other nowadays. It's like I really don't want to, you know, overdo it, I guess you could say.
Okay. What do you mean by overdo it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to crowd anyone's space.
Hmm. All right. I'm just taking notes over here because some of this stuff I haven't necessarily gotten into before. I've heard some people talk about this stuff. Let me ask you this. When did you kind of first realize, that you had these gifts and how did this all come to you?
Well, I was born with it, actually.
Okay, so for your entire life, you've just been seeing stuff. And I mean, how was that when you were younger? Because
When
obviously you
I
didn't
was
know what you were
younger, it would
looking at, right?
scare the when I was younger, it would scare the living, out of me.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have anybody you could talk to about that kind of thing? I mean, could you like bring that to your
Nobody.
parents or
I was
anything?
on no, I was on my own.
Wow. How does a kid who doesn't even know what they're looking at deal with something like that?
You just have to be stronger than most, I guess you could say.
Okay. Hmm. I mean, that had to be terrifying to not know what was going
Yeah.
on and to see all the stuff. All right. And so you
And
had to
then
deal with
age
that?
21, at age 21, everything was hopping and popping and getting really, really strong. And my ancestors came from spirit and said, "You're going to be a shaman." Um, what? Excuse me? Come again? You want it, y'all pull the strings. Well, age 48, here we are.
Okay. So you
But I
consider,
don't necessarily call myself that. It's just something that is. So I don't really personally have a name for it. It's just I know what I do and how I do it.
okay. So you use
I
the word
still, yeah, I still consider myself a student.
a student. You used the
Hmm.
word shaman a minute ago.
Yes, shaman.
So explain that to me and the other listeners. What makes that different from using the word psychic and so on?
Well, it's not necessarily different. I just use the psychic and mediumship part of it most.
Okay. So what makes somebody a shaman?
Well, shamans work with energy, with spirits, with nature, with all kinds of things. And it really is based, I guess, on interpretation in my eyes, personally.
Interpretation on your part or interpretation
Mhm.
by
On my
the
part.
person you're
Yeah.
reading for? On
No,
your
no,
part.
on my
Okay.
part.
What is it you're trying to interpret, in between what and what?
Just the messages that I get, the signs, the symbols, whatever I need to know.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. So, and that's different from being a psychic.
No, not necessarily. It's just I use the psychic and mediumship part of it more than I do anything else.
I see. All right. So
I
how do
guess
you,
it's what I'm most in tune with.
sure. So you said that you do most of your work online.
Mhm.
So is it one-on-one sessions then? I mean, what do people contact you for? Um, if I was going to contact you, I'd be contacting you for what? To gain what from you, from your knowledge?
Basically to get messages from loved ones, to find out things about, say, career, money, love, etc. People ask me all kinds of questions.
Hmm. And you have to connect with them somehow in order to,
Hmm.
get those answers. I mean, or do you just like when you're looking at somebody, you're across from them, you just see these things?
Yeah, I normally just see and I can feel
Okay.
the energy and read that.
Hmm. Interesting. right. So, I mean, if you're just, like walking down the street, do you have all that coming at you all at the same time? Then, like, if you've got all these people in front of
Sometimes,
you,
once in a while.
yeah.
Once in a while.
How do you focus through that?
I basically have to tell Spirit, I'm sorry, I'm busy right now. You'll have to take a number. It's kind of like, you take one of those pull tab things to get a number. All right, have a seat and we'll call you when we're ready.
I like it. I like it. Oh man. Okay. Interesting. And so how long have you been doing this for, like as a business, as a living?
As a living, just a few years.
Okay. What were you doing before that? What did it have anything to do with this?
I was really just kind of practicing, I guess you could say. I was just sort of like trying to determine how I could best do this. And after a while, it finally got to a point of where I was so energetically drained all the time. I'm like, all right, I've got to start charging for this because this is really, it can be hard to do this and, not feel energetically just constantly drained from question after question after question. Even though I love it, it can be very hard physically on me.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So I figure I might as well just get paid for it and, yeah.
Okay. And so for the last couple of years, this is what you've been doing for a living.
Hmm.
That's great. That's great. So you feel like you've been called to do this then? And this is like
Hmm.
where you belong type of thing?
Hmm.
Now, I know you said that you have a YouTube channel. What sort of stuff do you post on the YouTube channel?
Everything from my podcast to my videos to like all of my experiences with the paranormal, um, all of my experiences in the psychic field, everything I've done, everything I've witnessed and experienced, and yeah.
Okay, so you do episodes kind of informative, like telling people, "Hey, this is what's happened to me. This is what I do."
Right.
Give me some examples, or even a story about what sort of experience did you have with the paranormal?
Oh my God, there have been so many. I've had to write a book about it.
Are you writing a book about it? Maybe you should be doing
Yes, I am currently in the
that.
process of finishing a book about it.
That's
Yes.
awesome. All right. The Can you give us any idea? Maybe throw a
Well,
tidbit out to the crowd.
some of it, yeah, some of it has been experiences with ancestors. Some of it has been experiences with like Santa Claus, Bigfoot, UFOs, um, places I've worked, places I've been, places I've lived, just everything I've ever witnessed throughout my life.
Wow. Okay. That's an awful lot to put into a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Everything going on in your life.
Hmm.
So on the YouTube channel slash podcast, do you ever have guests on there, or is it just you talking about your experiences?
It's just me talking about my experiences,
Okay.
moreover.
All right. The What's I mean, without giving away names or anything, because I know you can't break confidentiality with people, but
Right.
what's one of your favorite, most interesting sort of stories, that has
Oh
happened
my
with you
God.
and how it went?
Yeah. My favorite of all time has to be Tombstone, Arizona, the
Tombstone, Arizona.
famous Birdcage Theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, what happened
I
there?
was I was physically assaulted by Ike Clanton. And my cousins, Wyatt, Doc, Morgan, and Virgil, yes, Wyatt Earp, Morgan and Virgil Earp, and Doc Holliday saved my bacon.
Wow, no kidding. So you saw all this happening and you were actually interacting with all of this.
Yes, I actually interacted with them. Yes.
Wow. Because Ike was one of the bad guys, right? I mean,
You got it.
I'm
Yeah.
remembering the
And he,
stories.
so in life, so in death, coward in life, a coward in death. And he is exactly that.
Wow. Now
Sorry, I gotta say the truth.
I've heard that both ways. I've heard people say that, so in life, so in death. I've also heard people say no, once they die, then even if someone's, not a good person, then everything is like peaceful and stuff. So you're
No.
one who subscribes to that belief system.
Hmm.
Okay, so in life, so in death. Wow. So Ike came after you, and
Yes.
then you were rescued by the Earp brothers. Are you
And Doc Holliday.
are you representing a
Mhm.
role in this setup, or are you
They
you in
are
this
now
setup?
my cousin. It turns out they're now my cousin.
Wow. So you're related to these guys.
Yes, I'm actually blood related to them.
Amazing. Well, that explains a lot then,
Yes.
which is probably why you got attacked in the first place.
No. Well, what it was, and I found this out maybe about a couple, 3, 4 years ago, is that at the age that I was when I was in there first, is that girls would go around with baskets of wine and liquor and all that and sell them to the customers. And I was of that age where that happened. So I think he mistook me for one of those girls.
Oh, okay.
And so he attacked me because I said no and refused his affections, shall we say.
I see. Okay, so you were caught up in it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, that had to be a little bit unsettling.
Unsettling, terrifying, completely scary. I mean, it was where I was just like, I was praying everything I could think of, try and get this dude off me because he grabbed me around my waist and I could feel his fist in my stomach. And he put his pistol right to my temple and I heard the hammer cock back. Click. I goes, oh, you know.
Wow.
I mean, I was just like, I was terrified.
Wow. I can't believe you had
And
to go through something like that. That's amazing.
yeah, and Wyatt, he comes up about 100 feet to my right and goes, ma'am, is that bothering you? I goes, no, Wyatt, I got it. Thank you, hon. Appreciate it. And, they go back to their thing. And then I hear Ike go, but Wyatt, I was just trying to show the lady a good time. He's high pitched up in his nose, nasally,
Hmm.
just ugh. Um, and Wyatt down deep in the diaphragm, Papa Bear, rumbly, grumbly, that kind of voice. And Wyatt, Wyatt and Doc and Morgan and Virgil, they all saved my life. I will tell you, they saved my life because when Ike would not drop the gun, I was kind of like, Wyatt. And they get back up in their game. Ike, drop the gun. But Wyatt, I dropped the damn gun. And all I hear over on my right is click, 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 click. I goes, uh-oh, and Ike drops the gun. I bolt. And I mean, I was like out of there. I was not going to stick around.
Oh my goodness.
So I
I
get to where my dad
wow.
is up on the stage. He's looking around up on the stage. And I'm like, I'm out of breath by this point. And he goes, Melissa, what's wrong? What's wrong? I point down by the bar. I goes, ghosts. He goes, what ghosts? Where? I goes, down there, ghosts. And, you know, he goes, I don't see any ghosts. There are no ghosts there. Calm down, calm down. What happened? I goes, Clanton. And he goes, what do you mean Ike Clanton? I goes, Ike Clanton tried to kill me. He goes, nobody's here. I goes, no, trust me, he's down there.
Wow.
And, you know, he goes, calm down, you're fine. I goes, okay. So I gather myself and I go back down to where it happened. I could smell the gun smoke in the air. I now love personally the smell of gun smoke. I really do.
Wow.
It's like one of my favorite scents. I know it sounds crazy, but I love it. Um, I guess you get used to it over a period of years, being around Western gunfight reenactments and Civil War reenactments. You get real used to the smell. So I personally love it. Um, but of course, that's just me. And, you know, I go back down to try to assess just what the hell happened because behind me, all I'm hearing is gunfire. As I'm running, I'm hearing gunfire behind me. Bam, 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 bam. I'm going, oh, you know, um, I'm just like, I'm running hell for leather because it's like I'm trying to avoid all this gunfire, you know. And
Okay.
I go back down, I look around, try to assess what happened. Wyatt comes back up to me along with Doc and Morgan and Virgil and say, ma'am, whenever you're in Tombstone, can we escort you through town? We'll protect you from Mike and his minions. I goes, uh-huh, yes, uh-huh, yeah, yeah. You know, when you get an offer like that, you take it.
I bet. Yeah.
And ever since, you know, I hit Fifth and Allen. Allen is the main drag, and Fifth is the side street where you can park. You know, you hit Fifth and Allen, and out they come from the Oriental. They go, "You ready?" It's like, "Let's go." And the one time that I did come by to visit is that I hit Fifth and Allen. They come out of the Oriental Saloon, which is catty corner from Fifth and Allen. Okay. We hit the boardwalk. I mean, boots and spurs, ka-chink, 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 guns hanging proud. And we are clearing the boardwalks. And I'm grinning like a Cheshire kitty. And people's eyes are going wide, jaws are hitting the floor, colors draining from faces, drinks are dropping, ice creams are dropping, dogs are barking, kids are crying. And I'm like, that's right, Earps and Holidays coming through, y'all.
Wow.
Oh, that was fun. We went the walk all the way to the corral for the gunfight.
Really?
Mm,
That is so cool. How long a walk is that? I'm curious. I mean, I've seen it in the movies, but
that's about 1,000 feet.
nice. Nice. So you're experiencing all of this. I mean, the smells, the feeling, you're hearing it, the whole bit. Like you're right there in the middle of it.
Yes,
Wow, wild.
I
Absolutely
actually
wild.
got to experience the real thing.
No kidding.
Mm,
Now, was this all the characters, from before, but like a new thing because you were involved, or this was like they keep reenacting this same old scene
no,
and you
they
happen
keep
to be part of it?
reenacting this. No, they keep reenacting it over and over and over and over.
So how did
It's
you
like a
fit into that?
time loop, you know? It's like a
Yeah.
time loop.
How did you fit into that then? If you were like a new character in there though, then weren't you, or were you
Yeah,
taking the
I'm like
place
a
of
new
someone?
character in it, but I got to experience it because I'm related to them.
Oh, so that's the key right there.
Mhm.
That's the part that's locking you in. I see.
Yes.
Wow, that's
It's because I'm related to them that they actually gave me the full experience. I'm like, I do that again in a heartbeat. That was fun.
that's almost a ride at an amusement park or something. Being able to go through something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but it's
Wow.
so much fun.
Wow. Now, did you know this was coming when you went there?
No, no, I didn't. I was only 14 at the time and I was a tourist. How could I have known?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, you were okay. You were 14 years old when all this happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you had this stuff from birth. You've had to learn what this all was. You're 14 years old, and this is going on all around you. Do you have a? I mean, now I can tell you know what happened to you, but when you were 14, did you have a concept of what was happening around you, or were you just like, what in the heck is this?
Yeah, I was just like, what in the heck is this? Yeah.
Well, so I mean, so what goes through a 14-year-old's head? You're a 14-year-old girl at that point. What goes through your head? Like, run? I mean, or or this
Yeah,
is
I mean,
cool. I
it
mean,
was to me, it was more interesting than it was scary. I
okay,
mean, there were scary parts of it, but at the end, it all worked out.
wow. Okay, I can't even imagine, something like that. Let me ask you this: did you at 14? I know you know now, okay, because you're experienced, you figured it out. I can tell you have clarity now, but when you're 14 and you don't really get all of this yet, right? Did you know that it wasn't like real, so to speak, and that it was of spirit? Or were
Mm,
you
mhm.
just like, what is happening around me and wondering why nobody else could see it?
Yeah, just that.
Huh.
Wondering why no one else but me can see it, can hear it, can feel it, can sense it, can know it, you know?
Were you getting that feedback from everybody around you?
Hmm.
So nobody else was, they were like, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Now, by that point, when you were 14, did the people that were around you know that you had these gifts? So were they kind of like, oh, here she goes again? Or were
Yeah,
they,
they're kind of like, oh, here she goes again. It's like, well, I can't control it. What do you want me to do about it, you know?
right? If they didn't know you had these gifts and stuff, then what did they
And
attribute all that to?
I didn't know either because I wasn't, I was taught we don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't feel it, we don't sense it, we don't know it, it's not real.
For sure. Hmm. I can't even imagine what someone would have to, well, going through that would be like for somebody. You got nobody around you who can. Now, did you find a mentor at some point who helped you figure this out, or?
Yes. One of my colleagues turned me on to Sylvia Browne's books. I read them cover to cover, and there's still some of them I haven't read yet that I have to still get a hold of. But her books taught me how to harness this ability and not be afraid.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. Now and pardon my ignorance, but I'm not familiar with Sylvia Brown. Is she also a psychic or a shaman?
She was. She was a psychic medium and very, very talented. And she taught me protection work. She taught me breath work, breathing control. She taught me how not to fear my abilities, how to shield, you know, um, how to see without being afraid, how to hear without being terrified out of my wits, how to really just manage all of this,
Wow.
you know?
I mean, I imagine that'd be a lot of work to have to go through. How old were you
Yeah,
when you
but
when you started doing this?
she taught me everything.
Okay. How old were you when you started learning, reading the books and figuring out what was happening?
I was about 19 or 20.
Okay. So at 19 or 20, you have some kind of idea something's going on. You're
Yes.
just trying to figure out what it is and get some guidance
Hmm.
on it. So did
Hmm.
you go looking for these books or did they just find you?
Um, One of my colleagues actually turned me on to them.
Okay. Colleagues in terms, I mean,
Yeah.
in this line of work?
Yes.
Hmm. Okay.
One of my now former colleagues, he turned me on to he said, "You're gonna find these fascinating because you're just like her." I goes, "Ooh, okay."
Wow. Okay. I mean, wow, that was one. I mean, I asked for a story. You gave me one heck of a story. That was really something, Melissa. My
Yeah.
goodness. Um, all right, so I mean, this is what you've been going through. This is where you are. You on your YouTube channel, how often do you post on the YouTube channel?
Not often because I'm in a rest home right now and I don't get that much chance to really go out and film.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you were laid up a little bit. Are you okay?
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 7 months. I battled diabetic coma, two heart attacks, two flatlines, a stroke, a seizure, hep C, kidney disease, and pancreatitis. And now it's just down to the diabetes 2, pancreatitis, and kidney disease.
Wow. You had to deal with
And I'm
all that all at the same
paralyzed
time?
from the waist. And I'm paralyzed from the waist down.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. My gosh, I had no idea you were going through all that. That's
Yeah, but I'm slowly, gradually getting better. I feel a lot better. I'm stable with the diabetes right now, with the diabetes 2. I'm stable. Kidneys are holding steady. Um, and so, um, I'm hoping things will get better very soon. I hope.
okay.
And I'm hoping once I get my eyes fixed that I can just get the hell out of here.
Right. You mentioned that about the cataracts, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I know you're dealing with a lot. Now, are you able to still kind of practice, and do what it is you
Oh
do
yeah.
for
Oh
folks?
yeah. No, I still see spirits. I had a ghost walk right through my room twice. Same spirit. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Was that just someone who had been there before or someone who had passed on from that
I
spot or?
don't know. I don't know. This was the first time because she seemed like kind of a newer spirit. I'm going, oh, I've never seen you before,
Hmm.
you know?
Is that a frequent thing for you? That just people just pop up, walk around, pass you?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, you took my breath away with that story about the OK Corral, so I'm still trying to like recovering from that. But um and about Tombstone, but well, I'm sorry to hear you have all that going on, but I mean, you seem like your spirits are fantastic and like, you're healing up at
Mhm.
this point.
Yeah. And the other reason is I'm engaged.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited. I mean, we've already planned exactly where we want to live and how we want to live, where we want to get married. Our honeymoon's all planned. Everything's all planned. Now we just got to figure out how to pay for it.
That's all three of my kids are going through that right now, married slash engaged, all of them. So I know exactly what you're talking about. How are we going to pay for all this in today's world? But
Mhm.
that's one heck of a ring you got there. Put that up there again, show everybody,
Okay.
because that's something. That's nice. That's very pretty.
Now,
Oh,
it's
good for
not the
you.
ring he wants to get me. It's kind of a placeholder, if you will.
Really?
Um, until we can get something a little bit better, you know?
Well, that's a nice looking ring. So he's holding this place pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. All right. Do you want to give a shout out to who the lucky guy is?
Yeah. Hi, Fernando. Hi, baby. Mwah. I love you.
There you
And
go.
I love our pups. He's got 4 dogs. Oh my God. They've got me right where they want me. They got me right where they want me. My
Melissa,
heart.
that's great. I'm very happy for you. That's fantastic. That really is.
And
Um,
I'm in love with those pups. I love those pups. I love those pups. I love those pups.
what a great way to end an episode of a podcast with an engagement announcement and talking about a wedding. It doesn't get better than that. So that's awesome. If anybody wants to contact you, my dear, how do they go about reaching you, contacting you? They want to get a reading. They want to hear more about it. How do they talk to you?
They can contact me at www.olp as in Peter, S as in Samuel, Y as in yellow, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, T as in Thomas, olscient.com or Psychic Mom, PSYCHICMOM 2017 at gmail.com or 530-646-8782.
Wow, you're an open book.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. The
Now, the website has to still be updated because I can't see well enough to do it yet.
okay.
Um, I will be updating the website sometime soon, and preferably, I would think in May after I get the cataracts fixed.
Okay.
Um,
So is email the
and
best way
I
to
will
reach you?
be updating all my advertising. I'll be getting everything, updated and going again. And yeah,
Okay. So is email the best way to reach you type of thing or
yes,
okay.
for right now.
All right. That's what we'll put in the show notes just so that if somebody needs to get a hold of you, they can. Psychic Mom 2017 at gmail.com.
Hmm.
Awesome. All right. And the YouTube channel is Melissa Renee McCarty, right?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And you are the Outlaw Psychic.
Hmm.
Got it. All right. Well, there's one question that I ask everybody all the time. Now I got to make sure that I include it in this episode. So we'll leave this as kind of our last question before wrap it all up. What is your favorite thing about what you do on your YouTube channel and letting everybody know? And what is the thing that you really can't stand about what you do and doing on your YouTube channel and letting everybody know?
Well, I really can't stand it when people go, "Oh, you're fake, you're this, you're that, you're the other thing," call me a bunch of really nasty names. I've been called things I can't even say on air.
All right. Doubters and haters. You can't stand that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then my favorite thing is being able to document everything that I've experienced.
Nice. Nice. Love it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. that concludes our interview. Thank you so much for coming on here and
Thank you
sharing.
for having
It's an
me.
awesome story. We're going to get your
Thank
communication
you.
out there. We'll get your contact info out there. And yeah, you've been a
Okay,
great guest. And congratulations. Good luck with the wedding.
great. Thank you so much.
All right, folks, you've had another episode of The Podcaster Nation. This is the place where it's about podcasters, it's for podcasters, it's done by podcasters. You know, this is the place where the rising tide raises all ships, folks. So keep sailing.